Attorney General just hours after firing Sally Yates for refusing to enforce his immigration order.
It was a betrayal of her office, and she's being replaced with somebody who will enforce the laws of the United States.
What the president did undermines our values. I can hear you. Can you hear us? The sound working? It's not on? Is somebody going to deal with this? Can you hear now? No, that doesn't do anything. Look at that moon.
President Trump is set to announce his Supreme Court nominee ahead of schedule.
Sources are telling Fox News the two frontrunners are federal appeals court judges Neil Gorsuch and Thomas Hardiman.
And at this hour, he signed an executive order dealing with regulatory relief.
We're going to create an environment for small business like we haven't had in many, many decades. The American dream is back.
He's unafraid and willing to sing about it, and that is the place where he was singing, Toby Keith.
All right, they're making coffee in the White House right now. The light on the right is on.
Yeah, because that is the kitchen. That is the upstairs kitchen at the White House. Welcome aboard, folks. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday, a very special day because it is Joel Fulton's birthday.
Happy birthday, Joel! Joel, how long have you been at Fox? Since the beginning?
Pretty close.
20 years. All right, we're going to give you the catalog. You can pick out a gift. You can get the watch after 20 years.
How about that
The Sears catalog.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us on Joel's birthday.
It's unbelievable. Last night, a huge firing took place. We'll review it all. And breaking news took place during Tucker's show. President Trump sending a clear message to Washington. Get on board or you are out.
That's right. A new attorney general has been hired just hours after the president fired Sally Yates, his acting attorney general, for refusing to enforce his immigration order.
Sally Yates, you're fired. Griff Jenkins live at our nation's capital with the dramatic rude awakening. Good morning to you, Griff.
Good morning. They're making a lot more than coffee at the White House these days. They're making dramatic moves, as you mentioned, and the message is very clear, and that is the boss is always right. President Trump firing acting Attorney General Sally Yates, an Obama appointee holdover, for questioning the president's executive order on immigration and refusing to defend that travel ban in court. The White House releasing this statement. Quote, the acting Attorney General Sally Yates has betrayed the Department of Justice by refusing to enforce a legal order designed to protect the citizens of the United States. Ms. Yates is an Obama administration appointee who is weak on borders and very weak on illegal immigration. It is time to get serious about protecting our country. Dana Bente, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, has been named as acting Attorney General until Jeff Sessions is confirmed. Now, Democrats wasted no time blasting the firing. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer took to the floor to denounce it.
If this continues, this country has big trouble. We cannot have a Twitter presidency. We cannot have a presidency that thinks, oh, this sounds good, let's just go do it. Sally Yates was a profile in courage. Maybe some of her courage, her insight, her wisdom would rub off on the people in the White House.
He also called the firing a Monday night massacre, a reference to the Nixon-era Watergate scandal, the Saturday night massacre. Here's the point. Clearly, the battle over Trump's nominations has gone up a notch as we await for that SCOTUS nominee tonight. Guys?
That's right. Folks will see that tonight at 8 right here on Fox. Griff, thank you. You know, it does look political. She not only was a holdover from the Obama administration, but reportedly the Department of Justice, their internal lawyers, looked at this executive order regarding immigration and said it's legal. And so she nonetheless said, you know what, I just can't support it. I think it's illegal.
So resign.
Keep in mind, she was going to get fired or, you know, no longer in that position just a couple of days from now because Jeff Sessions is on the glide path to being the Attorney General probably by the end of the year.
All right, so either she wanted to continue to get the paycheck because she needed it, but if you don't agree with the president, leave on January 20th.
Yeah.
Why stick around unless you want to make a name for yourself or you need the paycheck?
I think about that cutaway the day that President Obama came out after Hillary Clinton lost and Donald Trump won, and you saw the look on everyone's face. They were flat out stunned. And then you realize that probably was the same face everyone had at the State Department, Homeland Security, and down the line. And that's exactly where Donald Trump's having problems. State Department 4 out. Yesterday, Homeland Security, they got rid of a couple of people that are Obama holdovers. And then this happened last night. Stephen Miller came quickly over Stewart to Tucker show as this news broke to break down why this took place and why she had to be fired.
During the Obama administration, order after order after order was issued that violated immigration law, that repealed immigration law, that pulled immigration law apart. And throughout all of that, the Obama Justice Department stood by and supported those unlawful actions. President Trump comes in and directs the agencies to follow the law as written and to protect the country, and the acting Attorney General, an Obama appointee, says, I'm not going to do it. And as you understand, the United States admits 80 million people a year as visitors into our country. The idea that we couldn't exercise even a small amount of restriction to protect our country from people that we can't properly screen, that's the most basic exercise of federal authority.
I agree with that. I mean, I don't understand why anyone would not want to just make sure our country is safe. Like, just check out the people that are coming into our country.
Well, and it's
that seems basic.
It's not like the country's affected. We're not talking about Sweden. We're not talking about France. We're talking about terror hotspots.
Sweden has their own immigration problem because they left in way too many refugees.
They do have, right, in reverse. What's interesting, though, and as, you know, you see Sally Yates now leaving that position as acting Attorney General, several hundred State Department officials at the mid and upper level have been signing a document that says to the president, we don't like this. And so that's circulating. They're going to present it very shortly. But Sean Spicer made a great point yesterday. If you've got a problem with this president's agenda, just get out.
Yeah.
You don't have to have this job for life, although many people do. Just drain the swamp yourself. If you don't like this president, get out.
And Steve, it's not like this is something new. He ran on this, so he was elected because of this. A lot of people were worried about our borders. That's why they wanted the wall. That was his. That was his. Major thing that he talked about during the election. This is not something new. She knew he was going to do this. Yep. If she doesn't agree with it, that's fine. You don't have to agree with everything that President Obama wants to pass.
She works for him.
But she works for him, and she's telling her boss, I don't agree with you. So he said, fine, get out.
Look, nobody says the execution of this order went well. The Homeland Security is working things out. General Kelly was upset by the way this was handled. He's making it clear. He's also going back and forth with the White House on the staffing he has. According to the Wall Street Journal, that's fine. It's called growing pains. But the big word I want everyone, the big number everyone should keep in mind today is 9. It's been 9 years since George Bush has commented about another president, and it's been 9 days since President Obama commented on a past president. Yesterday, he couldn't help himself. He weighed in through his spokesperson saying this: President Obama is heartened by the level of engagement taking place in communities around the country. This is exactly what we expect to see when American values are at stake. Shot at Trump, except here.
Well, talk about American values. 2 days before the inauguration, President Barack Obama refused 91 refugees from Cuba, sent them back to Castro's regime.
Wait, they went through Mexico. They were supposed to get into this country, and they were sent back.
Where was the liberal media on this? Here's Kellyanne Conway weighing in on all this.
What I think is everybody should be reminded it was his list originally. Number one, when you're as powerful as an ex-president or a current sitting senator, and you say or do anything that could possibly mislead people into believing that something has an impact and the fact that it clearly does not, it's a dangerous game.
It is a dangerous game. The president, former president, Barack Obama, said he hadn't wanted to give the new administration space. It looks as if the space was less than 10.
Well, I was asking down in the control room, we were talking about the show, and I was saying, have other presidents done this? I know George W. Bush never criticized President Obama. Have other presidents done that? And everyone's talking about that. Yes, it has been done.
Jimmy Carter never stopped up until recently.
Months later, but it's never been done 9 or 10 days into the presidency.
Right. It's just flat out fascinating.
So are we going to expect more of this, or can we expect more of this?
I would think if you can't go 9 days without commenting on your successor, I think it's going to be a long time. And by the way, the Democrats should be madder than anybody. They need a new leader to emerge. Yeah. And as long as President Obama is out there, he is so charismatic, so popular on the Democratic left, so no one is going to emerge. And Senator Schumer is doing a full-time job of being exhausted. All he does is just express outrage.
He's trying Cory Booker, too.
Right.
Both of them. Cory Booker, what, a week ago, a week and a half ago, now it's Schumer.
No, Schumer's not a presidential candidate.
I hear Schumer's got a really good acting coach. At least I heard that on TV yesterday. Anyway, so in protest to the immigration order, the temporary immigration order, you've got all the Democratic leaders that go to the steps of the Supreme Court. And you know what? Something just went wrong. They had a microphone, but the speakers didn't work. There they are. And the people out there couldn't hear him, so they kept chanting things like, lock him up and stuff like that.
It went horribly wrong.
Oh, it went horribly wrong. If you want to know how not to have an event, this is it. Watch.
Thank you very much for coming out. Is the sound working? Okay, got it. The sound working? It's not on? Is somebody going to deal with this? Look at that